Welcome back to Brighter Rays. Today we're looking at 1 John chapter 2. We're looking at verse 19. And they went out from us. So, these people that John's been talking about were a part of the visible church. These people that have the spirit of the Antichrist. They made a profession of faith. They seemed from all outward appearances to be in fellowship with the church. They might have been members of the church, and yet they went out. This going out is two-sided. They went out spiritually and physically. They departed from the true faith and having chosen to embrace the darkness in which they were living. The false pretenses are gone. The mask has been lifted, and the true heart of the person has been exposed. This should remind us of the parable of the soils. They went out. They were like those that the gospel seed fell among the weeds and rocky ground. Looked like the gospel would take root, but in the end, it just withered away. We also see all of the Jesus' disciples who followed him and were finally confronted on the day after the feeding of the 5,000. Many had pledged discipleship on that day, claimed to believe, yet in the end, the next day, almost all walked away. John says those people were not of us. Many had pledged themselves, but they weren't saved. They weren't really a part of the church. They weren't in fellowship with Jesus, the Father, and his people. They were pretenders. They were hangers-on. They were really saved. If they had been really a part of us, then they would have continued on. They would have remained in the church. They would have kept the faith, but they left. Why? That it might become plain that they're not all of us. God mercifully weeds out the tares from the wheat at times. He will cast them out of a local church so that what they were all along will be made plain or manifest. That's the end of our study today. Come back tomorrow. We'll look at verses 20 through 23.